Hello, Seahawk Nation, and welcome to Seahawk Weekly with head coach Myles Russ, presented by Bud's Chicken and Seafood. I'm your host, Danny Solomon, the voice of the Seahawks, and as always, it is so nice to be here with you today. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So first off, welcome back.
Yes.
You got training camp has come and gone. You got finally game week. How does it feel?
Feels great. We're very excited. It's game week. We had our practice this afternoon. We kind of transitioned some practices to the afternoons to get us kind of acclimated to the weather a little bit. We're going to be playing at 12 o'clock their time. So I just want to kind of make sure we can get these guys going, feel the heat even more. But it was good. Really excited.
This is a different year for you, year two from year one. Does it feel a little bit different?
It does. It does. In terms of just, it's a brand new team. And I told everybody last year, this is college football. And we just going to have to continue to bring the guys that we just brought in, make sure that they understand the standard and the culture that we have, and the guys that are still here, making sure they uphold the standard that we have, that grit culture. So I'm very excited for the new guys, that really for them to show what they have been brought here to show, not just on the field, but off the field as well.
Year to year, it's so difficult to be a head coach nowadays with all the turnover, the transfer portal, people graduating, things like that. Just talk about the makeup of this year's roster. You have a lot of key returners, but also a lot of new additions that you're really excited about.
Yeah, no, it's. I think it always starts up front. Obviously, we had to bring in some guys. We lost some guys up front just in terms of being seniors, guys that have getting opportunities on both sides of the ball, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm really excited for those guys to really show their physicality and what they've been working on throughout this whole off season. But understanding that at the end of the day, nobody cares. We got to be ready to go. We know the goals that we have for our team, and we understand that we have a lot of new guys. But again, there's no excuses in terms of we need to get things done. We need to continue to be who we are as a Kaiser football program, and I'm just excited for those guys to represent that.
And we'll see them represented this weekend. But before that, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with more with head coach Myles Russ here on the Seahawk Weekly, presented by Bud's Chicken and Seafood. And we're back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to Seahawk Weekly with head coach Myles Russ. Coach, now we're going to start looking forward to this week. You've got another year where you start off with a really tough matchup. Last year, you went to Division II North Greenville to start the season off. Now you're starting off with a team that's ranked number 6 in the NAIA, lost in the quarterfinals to a team we're well aware of Benedictine. Why do you like scheduling these tough matchups early in the season?
It gets you prepared. You really know what your team is looking like in the beginning of the year. One thing I do love, our conference is very tough, so we're going to get tested anyway. But that's been a tradition of ours, at Kaiser, making sure that we play some really good teams in the beginning of the year. We wanted to continue to keep that Division II thing going, wasn't able to, but was able to get a really good NAIA school in Indiana Wesleyan that is excited to take that next step in their program as well. So we've been watching the film, and I'm really excited, really had this basically top 10 matchup between us and Indiana Wesleyan.
A tough matchup. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, so it's going to have a lot of eyes on it. What should fans be expecting from this game?
I just want them to see that grit culture that we always talking about, and us being tough, disciplined, detail-oriented, and then also showing off our big playability on both sides of the ball. Offensively being a balanced attack, and then defensively making sure we're stopping the run and getting after the quarterback. I'm really excited for our new guys to show that what they're all about. We have a lot of unnamed guys that people don't know about yet that I'm really excited for them to fit in of what we've been doing. And I think that's what it's about. Guys getting opportunities, that next man up mentality that we used to always talk about last year. That's the same this year. So I'm really excited for those guys to be able to show that.
You're now in a situation where expectations are high, obviously. Your second year here, 3 consecutive national championship appearances. everybody's telling you what their expectations are. But what are your expectations for this season?
My expectations is just us making sure that we're disciplined and detailed. And I think everything kind of plays itself off after that. In not understanding and understanding that last year was last year. I think that it's really helped me because we had big expectations last year, and we were able to do what we did last year. But now coming into this year, with these new guys, hey, the standard doesn't change, and continuing to keep that culture that we have built here. But I'm very detail-oriented and disciplined. I think a lot of schools and teams don't really expect that sometimes from South Florida teams, and I think it's an opportunity for us to show that on a national level. I'm very excited about because they always talk about speed and players and things like that. But I really want to show how we can do within our scheme and how we can be very disciplined within that as well.
It's going to be a really exciting season. We're all looking forward to it. Coach, thank you for joining us for the first Seahawk Weekly of the year. Yes. We're going to have more coming up right after this commercial break. Welcome back to Seahawk Weekly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Danny Solomon, and now I'm being joined by Dillon Simon. Dillon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You are a third-year member of the program, but you were telling us before we started that you came to Kaiser University for a very specific reason. What was that?
Well, I was at McNeese State University at first. Then I was playing quarterback, but I also played DB there. Then I went to receiver as well. But, I always had in my heart to play quarterback, and I got the opportunity. Coach Artez finally texted me. When I was in the transfer portal, he texted me to come down here. And when I got down here, won the championship my first year, came back spring, got hurt, and then came back for the fall. Then now I was playing DB. Then now I'm here at running back. And another thing I came for, I love the fishing as well in South Florida. Can't get better than that. So.
There you go. There you go. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. I was just going to ask you about this. This is your third different position in 3 years. So. The versatility you bring to this team is very important. Just talk about, is that something that you strive to do, be a versatile player?
Oh, yes, sir, most definitely. I always try to, whatever I can do, wherever the team puts me, I always try my best to be the best I can be, but also just helping the team be a team player. We went to the national championship since I've been here, and anything I can do as a player to get us back there to help out, I'm going to do it. So right now I'm playing running back, so all my focus is on running back. But Coach say, Dillon, you need to go to quarterback, receiver. Let's do it. Wherever I can help out, that's what I'm here for.
Jack of all trades, a Swiss Army knife. Let's call it that. So, I mean, you just kind of mentioned something that I want to talk about real quick. You've been here 3 years.
Yes, sir.
We've been to 3 national championships in that time. So how do you think this year's team fares against the other 2 that you've been a part of?
Well, I think every team is different. Of course, when I first got here, it's a different head coach with Coach Solskjaer. But now the second team, when I was here last year, it was a lot of old guys that was here. But this team's a lot of new guys, but those new guys came in and we uphold the standard for this team, the grit mentality in the weight room, on the field and off the field. So I really feel like nothing changed with the standard. It's just different faces, but we're going to do the same thing that we always do every season, and that's going to play college grit football.
Well, one thing that did change this year is the fact that your team has selected you to be one of the captains. How does it feel?
It feels great, man. I never try to be in the spotlight because I always want to make sure I'm just doing the right thing by the team, by the people, by the coaches, on and off the field. And, I got into a leadership role this year. Big thanks, big shout out to Mr. Jason as well. He helped me out a long time with FCA, and that kind of built my reputation up, it kind of built my confidence as well. And then once I got here for the team, just started building and building and building. Those guys listened to me, those guys took me under their wing, and I just kept levitating. And I couldn't be more proud, and I'm ready to lead this team and do great things.
And this team is ready to do great things. Dillon, thank you for joining us for the first edition of Seahawk Weekly. You can see Dillon, Coach Russ, and the rest of Kaiser football in action this Saturday at 12 o'clock as they travel to Indiana Wesleyan. And for everybody here at Kaiser University, we thank you for joining us for this edition of Seahawk Weekly. I'm your host, Danny Solomon, saying until next time, so long, Seahawk Nation.